What's up, everybody? It's been a minute since I've done any of these videos. I have been insanely busy this summer, more so than I thought I would be, but it's been so much fun. I thought I'd give you a little update on my 4000 build, how we've been going, how we've progressed. I've been working on my RC4 drive C2X. It has been a beast. I've been going through some changes with it here and there, trying to find out what the best setup is for me. So we have done two mountains, one 4,000, one just under 4,000. We did Camel's Hump, Rob and I, Rob Knudsen. We did that. That was a 8.5 hour day up and down. It was quite long, but well worth it. The truck performed great. There was a lot of abuse, a lot of big rocks, extreme terrain. We had to pick them up sometimes to get through sections just because it was just undrivable, and we wanted to get to the top of the mountain as fast as possible. You know, when you're hiking, you've got a motivation. When you're wheeling, you have different motivations, different goals. You want to try sick lines and do certain things, but when you're hiking and you're trying to get to the top, you kind of have to move on fast and keep going to keep the pace up. Otherwise, you'll be crawling at night, which is fine if you're, used to that type of wheeling in that extreme terrain. But we did that, and we also climbed Bolton with a bunch of people. And I've done two mountains with this so far. I did use different tires for both first climbs. Because I don't know these meets too well, MTZs, the Bajas, Mickey Thompsons, but I'm giving them a try on the biggest mountain we're doing next, which is Mount Washington in New Hampshire. That's coming up soon. We got a crew of us going there. Hopefully we'll do it in enough time to get to the top and be able to take the gondola back down or get a ride from the top, because you can drive your car to the top of Mount Washington. Because it's normally a 6 to 8 hour hike, depending on, your skill level and your pace on the trail we're going. But with a group and people with RCs, it's going to take longer. So I'm probably thinking we're going to be on trail 10, maybe 11 hours. So we're going to leave super early in the morning to get a head start on it. And hopefully we'll make good time and get to the top. But as far as the truck goes, I changed out the stock shocks for some Pro Scale shocks. And they've leaked all over the place, so I'm going to refill them, and that's just after one mountain. They weren't doing too well. It's extreme terrain, it's very abusive, and we're not puttering at a scale speed. We'll say we're making a good clip, so the shocks have taken a beating. So I'm going to give them one more try on this big mountain, see if they can hold it any better. I'm going to do a couple of changes on it and see, but it's not looking good for the Proline shocks, and the stock shocks don't hold that much oil. But, we'll see. We'll see. I might do what I did with my D90 truck with the scale shocks that RC4 drive, is I do the dual spring rates. I get the inners as well as the outers, and the oil just leaks out of them anyway. So at least if I got the dual rate springs, it helps out a lot in that truck. That D90's got a heavy top, so it handles well, sorry. But other than that, this truck has performed flawlessly. The motor in there, the Hobby Wing, I've only used it on Bolton. I had a Castle system in it before. It didn't give me the crawling ability I really like out of this, because it just didn't. It was really just kind of on off, and doesn't have that control I like when I'm climbing extreme terrains. Great for driving around and bashing and stuff like that, but I need more control on these big mountains. Couple of things that went wrong with the transmission. The the screws fell out of the spur gear. I've never had that happen. After talking to a couple of my friends, they've had that happen to them before. So I went through and Loctited all the screws down. And that was the only, it wasn't even a break. It was just the screws backed out. That's the only problem I've had. And believe it or not, I still have the stock drive shafts in here. After 2 mountains, they've held up really, really well. I do bring extra sets because you just don't know, you don't want to be in the middle of a mountain and not have enough parts. As you can see, the scrapes, the wear on the links and the axles, even in the tie rod here, steering link. Yeah, it gets abused, but the stock axles are holding up. We haven't done anything as far as upgrades with this. I changed out the CNC wheels. I just like the better look. The black, deep dish look, it gets boring for me. I like to spice it up. So I got these CNCs with locked up rings on it. I haven't used these yet, so I'm excited to get those out on the trail. Still using the stock receiver and remote. I got the Shifts RC servo winch in there, plus the XB up front. It's doing really well. I think I'm going to get a BEC because I do lack a little bit of the steering power that I want. It's just not getting the juice, basically. So I feel like a BEC will help smooth that out. But I mean, it's been doing great. It's been an awesome little mountain climber. The body is, getting its abuse, so to speak. As you can see, it's all scraped and scratched all through there. All the lights still work, but we haven't been going really at night for any real reason, because we've been trying not to go at night. But it's been holding up well. There's no cracks, and I have fallen with this. I thought I cracked it on the last ride, but it just made a big old snappy snap sound, but nothing broke. But it's holding together. I'm really happy with it, and I'm excited to get to Mount Washington and get on the trails. I am bringing probably overkill again. I'm bringing spare metal axles, aluminum axles for this. I also have some Vanquish rock jocks, the old SCX10 style with the big old pumpkin. I'm not bringing those because I have yet to retrofit them on here, and I don't know if it's a direct bolt-in. I just don't know. And I'm not trying to be in the middle of a trail exhausted figuring stuff out. The aluminum ones are direct bolt-ins. They have all the parts. I've gone through them. They're good to go. Excuse me. If you listen to my podcast, I just yawn a lot. But that's really it, you guys. I've put a lot of miles and a lot of mountain terrain on this, and I'm really happy with this truck. And I can't wait to see how it does at Mount Washington. But that's it for the 4000 update. It's been, like I said, a crazy summer. Mount Washington is going to be in September, and then I'm going to hit Killington probably at the end of September, and then hit going to hit Maine. There's a Maine mountain I can't pronounce. I can't think of the name of it right now. That will hit at the end of September, and then October we're going to do Killington, and then I'll have my 4000s. So I'm pretty pumped. I hope you guys like this, and hit subscribe and follow if you want to get more updates. I'm going to do way more videos coming up soon. Peace.